Hey everyone, Tony D and Little Joan here on a Piney podcast on this rainy Wednesday afternoon. And not great news today, but Governor Murphy extended the beer virus public health emergency in New Jersey. And according to NBC 10 in Philadelphia, hundreds more die. Everybody panic. Jeez. I mean, this is getting ridiculous with the headlines. Hundreds more die, didn't even show up during the height of this pandemic. And now you're doing hundreds more die. You're not helping NBC 10, in my view. This is all my view, by the way. So the big news. Governor Murphy is signing an executive order extending New Jersey's public health emergency due to the beer virus into June. Another month, another 30 days. What is that going to cost us? What does that mean in terms of your wacky new powers, emergency powers, Phil? Don't like it. Not liking this at all. This is giving him the power to order businesses closed. Why should you, Governor of New Jersey, be able to order business magically closed? This is an idiotic pronouncement. This is just like what Gavin Newsom is doing and the Michigan governor is doing. And what was the reaction, dummy? The reaction was people start to get PO'd. They start to protest and they start to open their businesses anyway. And then you're going to have to send in law enforcement. And guess what? You're going to be sued. And when you get to court, the judge is going to go, oh yeah, shutting down businesses is completely unconstitutional. You don't have the power to do this, okay? You have the power to suggest. You have the power to, send out notices saying that things are bad or things are good or whatever. This is too much, Phil. You've got people are opening up. South Dakota didn't even close. Okay, I get it. We got hit hard, but listen to some of this. Just listen to it. He urges people to cover their faces when they go out and practice social distancing. That's fine. But then he says, remember, in the absence of a vaccine or even proven therapeutics, where there are some therapeutics, by the way, and some proof exists for beer virus, our only cure is social distancing. It's not a cure, first off. That's mitigation. And, everybody's on board with that. No one wants to get sick. Why are we doing this? Why are we keeping everything so tightly closed? You've got to start opening things up. The new cases, by the way, somewhere in this article, is around 1,500. Okay, now they're further south because people down south got hit by this later, but it's not even that bad. Where did they say? Okay, Salem, and this again is partly the media is on board with this. Salem and yes, I know, Joan. It's terrible. It's terrible what they're doing to New Jersey. I know. Salem and Cumberland counties are seeing cases double quicker than any counties in the state. Okay? Sounds scary, right? All right. Let's go see what doubling means. Here is the Johns Hopkins University of Medicine beer virus map. And we've got all the county breakdowns in New Jersey, how much. This is probably from yesterday. The worst county in New Jersey is Bergen with 16,520 cases. Okay, that's a lot of cases. Bergen County got pretty hit. But you have to remember, those are just the people who tested positive. The vast majority of them, something like over 95%, went home and quarantined and got better. And they just got over it. Statewide, the numbers are approximately 3% of the people who get this end up in the hospital. They get it bad enough to go to the hospital. That's just the people who went to the hospital. That's not the people who died. That's hospitalizations, which are going down, except in South Jersey, where they're going up slightly. But Bergen County, 16,000. All right, let's scroll down and see Cumberland County. Cumberland County, at the same time, has a little over 1,000 cases. You just said it doubled. I don't know. This was probably from yesterday. So it's going to double. Okay. So now you're going to have 2,000 cases. That's 60 people in the hospital in a county. Let me find it. Where's the map? In a county where they got 2 hospitals. They also got 2 hospitals in Salem. So 60 people in Cumberland County are going to get going to be sick enough to go to the hospital, and they have 2 hospitals to handle it. One hospital has to be able to handle 60 people. In Salem, right now they're at 353 cases, which means if you double it, you get 700. Which means if you ask how many people are going to end up in the hospital, well, that's probably about 14. I think 2 hospitals in Salem can not only take care of the 14 people who are going to need hospitalizations, they could take some of the spillover from Cumberland County if they had to. Because counties are not strictly county-based in New Jersey, as far as I know. So we are continuing to shutter businesses and continuing to damage the local economy and driving people out of business over roughly 5 or 6 dozen people who may get sick enough to go to the hospital and will probably survive this. That is outrageous. Okay? It's simply outrageous. Hospitalizations are down. Now, because the hospitalizations are down statewide, they've now split the state up in their chart. I know, Joan, this is an outrage. They've split this state up into 3 regions to show you, well, see, South Jersey's still going up. And that's technically true. But look at the numbers. Up in North Jersey, they peaked at around 4,500 people in the hospital and now are down to around 3,000. In Central Jersey, it only peaked to about 1,725. It's a weird number to put on a chart. And it's down around, I don't know, maybe less than 1,700. In South Jersey, the numbers are way lower. We're talking peaking at about maybe 700 people, 750, and it's still slightly going down. Okay, we have fewer hospitals in the region, but we can handle 700 people across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 counties, which is roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That looks like about 20 hospitals. I think we can handle 800 patients in 20 hospitals, 40 a hospital. I think they can handle that. I know. This is an outrage, Joan. I know you're outraged. You're outraged for the citizens of South Jersey. You're a good little piney dog. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're a good little piney dog. So, Phil, you got to open this up. And Joan agrees. This is stupid. This is stupid. Just because you're getting a couple of more numbers down our way. I live here. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. And I'm in a percentage of people. Let's see if they have it here. I got it on one of these charts. Yeah. See, I'm in the 50 to 64 range now. And that's the rate of hospitalization for a guy like me, 7.4%. But if you skew it for people with underlying medical conditions, it's much higher. And yes, I'm worried about my folks. They're in the 12 to 15% range. But that still means over 90%, no, over 80%, 85% won't even go to the hospital. Okay? We have people over 100 surviving this. Over 100. 100. Here, do you want to sit here, growly dog? So, it makes no sense now. I get it. Nobody's blaming you for early on closing things down. Okay? No one's blaming you for that. No, we didn't know what we were dealing with here. No one's blaming you. But people are going to blame you down the road, Phil, when you can't put the economy together. Okay? Your task force of CEOs who are sitting around trying to decide, which businesses should open first. The worst thing you can do, in business is create uncertainty. And what you've announced is you don't know when you're going to reopen things. And that creates major uncertainty. People have to be able to contact their vendors. Certain things happen at certain times of year. Forget about Mother's Day. You got florists out there. They would like to open their business. If you have a florist that can't do curbside pickup or whatever, it doesn't have a significant outside section where they could sell stuff outside, what are they supposed to do? What are they supposed to do, Phil? Are they supposed to just order a bunch of Mother's Day flowers and hope you open things up by Sunday? They can't. So they're not going to order Mother's Day flowers, a good chunk of their money for this time of year, and they could go out of business. And then those people, they could lose their homes and businesses, and then you've got people who are either jammed in an apartment, they leave the state, or they're on the street. Okay, and then you've got even more problems. Everybody connected to them, people who worked for them, people who used to shop there. Then you have an abandoned business, an abandoned home, and it just spirals up from there. So let's not do that. These people don't want to make their customers sick. If I run a bar, I don't want to open up and make everybody sick. I want to open the bar and have some kind of mitigation in place. Some kind. All right? And I don't want some sickie coming into the bar and getting everybody sick. I don't want one of my waitresses getting sick or bartenders getting sick and making everybody positive. That would be a disaster. Once word leaked out, my God, the business would be dead. But the business is definitely dead if you keep everybody shuttered too long. And you have now the green light to go ahead faster than this. You're going to get blasted in your re-election campaign for your response. You're going to get blasted. You were going to get blasted either way, even if you had the perfect response. Look at Trump. He's getting creamed over something that's not even his fault. Now, you're going to sit there and go, well, the economy's bad because of the beer virus. Yeah, but you kept things closed too long. That's going to be bad. That's going to be worse than if a handful of people maybe get sick. And you don't even know that for sure. The science cannot say either way. The science is still out on a lot of the beer virus metrics. But more importantly, I gotta throw some shade at NBC 10 and the rest of the media who's covering this. And they are saying things like, oh my God, death tolls and whatnot. I can't even find the damn article now. What did I do with it? Because, what's this say? Oh, there it is. Because you've got this headline, hundreds more die. You should be ashamed of yourself, NBC 10, just to get a few clicks today. You're going to do that. Project Veritas today has caught CBS News basically faking a story. Now, there's some controversy over who exactly is responsible, but if you go to Project Veritas today, I'll leave a link. You'll see that they caught CBS or someone at the hospital, one or the other, and they got a bunch of employees together and they faked a line of people getting tested for the virus. I believe this is in Michigan. And I believe this is probably to help the image of the governor. Oh, see, the virus is still very much active. And this was reported on a national news program. I believe Gayle King is the host. So this is the battle. It's not just a battle against the virus. It's a battle of people trying to exploit it for their political careers and media careers. So you cannot trust these media outlets. Now, I know there's conspiracy theories, and you got to be careful of them too. I told you about a documentary the other day. I'm not sure it's that true. I told you I wasn't sure it's that true. It sounds true, and I'm very wary of it, but I still got to consider it a possibility. It wasn't a poorly produced thing either, but it could be total conspiracy theory. I don't know. I'm not a documentary film guy, and I'm not a journalist, but I do know some journalistic skills. I went to college for communications. Hello. So we've got a situation in which the media has a vested interest in some parts of the country, sorry, Joe, to lie to you and to extend this and to create more fear because they're going to get more clicks. Hundreds more die. Oh my God, I better click on this and see what's going on. The Michigan governor has a vested interest in extending this to justify her behavior. And now Phil has a vested interest. And there is a new news report, besides the other Project Veritas report, saying that they are, in New York, putting beer virus on the death certificates, whether that's true or not, probably due to laziness, but partly due to financial incentive. There's also a financial incentive for hospitals to put down the beer virus because they get $13,000. And then if they use a respirator, they get, I believe it's like, I want to say 39 or 69,000, a lot of money. So they're financially incentivizing, and there are going to be some people who take advantage of that. There's just no doubt. And there's no doubt that that money probably needed to be thrown around a little bit, and that most people would have went, okay, in the beginning of this. But now we're in a different place. Now we have evidence. And some of the evidence, a lot of the evidence actually, is pointing to people have made too big a deal of this. Okay? I am perfectly willing to wear a mask for a while and wash my hands and be careful until the summer, until we're embroiled in the summer and get a week of 80-degree weather. Then I'm going to probably start loosening up things. Some people may loosen up earlier. Some people are younger than me. They're going to be fine. I'm in a category, I'm going to be a little careful. But people are going to start losing their jobs. And then we've got much bigger problems. Much, much bigger problems. If we've got millions of people out of work, Phil, what the hell are you going to do about it? You cannot fix that. You are not a tyrant. You are not a king. You cannot magically, if you could say, go to the banks and say, everybody gets a free 2 or 3 months, then a lot of people would be fine. But you can't do that. And you're not doing it. You're not even attempting to do it. Not that I would expect you to do that, although I think it would be a good idea if the banks just took 2 months and tacked it on to the end of everybody's mortgage. Same thing with the landlords and whatnot. I don't think the landlords would be as flexible about it or could even do it. But at least maybe talk about it if this emergency is that bad. But I think we're done. We're done. Okay? So you got to start opening up things and let people take their chances. You can warn people. I would warn people. I would say, look, you got to wear a mask in public or inside in public. You got to do that for your fellow man. If you're not wearing a mask, you can throw people out of your store. I'm behind that. I'm 100% behind that because I'm 100% behind store owners letting anyone they want in the store or kicking anyone they want out because they're a private business and they should be allowed to do that. And if people like you, Phil, respected the private business owner and private property more, then this wouldn't even be an issue. You wouldn't even have to say, oh, put out a mask. Then you could just let everybody else put on a mask or gloves. And you could go to a store, and if you didn't see a sign with mask and you saw all the employees walking around breathing on people, you could just turn right around and go, screw that, I'm not going into that store, because that's what I would do, germaphobe. And if they gloved up and wiped things off, I could look at that and go, oh, well, this is my local ShopRite. They're taking precautions. I'm going to shop here, and I'm going to remember this. And people will. And people will remember your ham-handed response, which is getting very ham-handed. You better open things up, Phil. I think it's time that we should be hashtagging and emailing the dear governor, Open New Jersey. So let's do that. Let's try to encourage him to do the right thing. It's time to open New Jersey up.